Listen to Salesian News podcast on www.anchor.fm/boscom. Get weekly summaries of Salesian news from Don Bosco's family in Asia Oceania, comprising of priests, brothers, sisters, cooperators, and alumni. I am your host, RJ Brian of Radio Salesian 90.8 FM from Salesian College, Sonada, Shillong. Be sure to hear me on Salesian News podcast on www.anchor.fm/boscom. Listen anytime from anywhere.
Hello and welcome. You're watching Don Bosco Media Network. This is Deepika bringing to you the Salesian news across the globe. Since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic last March 2020, the young Salesian in formation Alfio Eugenio Papalardo has devised a completely innovative way to pray together with children even at a distance. With the collaboration of some young people from the Ragusa Oratory, the place where he carries out his internship, he has given life to an initiative that through short sketches imbued with humor and irony helps to spread useful messages for reflection starting from the Sunday Gospel. Father Giuseppe Abba, born in Polonghera, Cuneo on 21st October 1943, passed away on Tuesday 2nd December. A rigorous, humble and sober intellectual, he was a formator of generations of Salesian at the Salesian Pontifical University. We at Don Bosco Media Network pray for the repose of his soul. The Archbishop Emeritus of the Archdiocese of Cuyaba, the Salesian Monsignor Bonifacio Piccinini, died on the evening of Saturday 28 November at the age of 91. He had been hospitalized at the Santa Casa Hospital in Cuyaba the previous Monday, 23rd November, due to an illness but never recovered. After the funeral, he was buried in the crypt of Metropolitan Cathedral of Cuyaba. "28 days have passed since the arrival of the Eta and Lota storms in the land of Central America, and the consequences of the passage are still being felt. Houses destroyed, roads damaged, families affected, people dead and missing." The fourth meeting of the Salesian social platforms of the Spain Mary Help of Christians SMX province took place at the end of last month in digital mode on the theme United for Others. The meeting brought together about 50 participants, including rectors, head of social platforms, and of individual areas of action. Last year, he celebrated 60 years of religious profession on 5th April 2020. His 45 years of priestly ordination and the year to come will be his 55th since his first arrival in Congo. Father Piero Gavioli, an Italian Salesian, has spent a life in missions for the young and poor Africans. Looking at these anniversaries, he says, "These are important moments to thank the Lord who guided me with patience and fidelity, and to entrust my future to Him, sure that, as Father Edigio Vigano said, our future will be greater than our past." At the conclusion of the 28th General Chapter of the Salesian Congregation, and to encourage distributing the contents and instruction of that assembly among all Salesians, the Rector Major, Father Angel Fernandez Arteme, inaugurated a series of video, It's Time for G628, in which he discusses one of the 8 actions for the new 6-year term contained in the document Post-Chapter Reflections. In the parish of Mary Help of Christians in Ponta Grossa on Sunday 29 November, the Salesian Diego da Silva made his perpetual profession in the hands of Father Gilson Marcos da Silva, Superior of the province of Porto Alegre, BPA. From 24th to 26 November, the Salesians of the Central Africa Province AFC participated in the meetings of rectors chaired by the AFC Provincial Father Albert Kibuge. The planning, challenges and guidelines for the year 2020-2021 were presented to the participants in the light of the 28th General Chapter. The Provincial Assembly took place on the evening of 26 November, during which the G628 guidelines were discussed so as to continue carrying out the mission for the good of the young, to safeguard and evaluate the Salesian charismatic identity, to deepen the profile of Salesian and to continue collaborate with the laity to share the Salesian mission. The Salesians of the AFC province want to respond daily with their testimony to the theme of G628, Which Salesians for Today's Young People. The Don Bosco Development Society DBDS, the Planning and Development Office of the Mumbai Province INB, continues its work of assistance to migrant families. This time, 60 families residing in Antop Hill and Matunga were helped and they were given rescue kits containing food, hygiene and cleaning items for a period of 1 month. During this time of a pandemic, Father Michael Karikunil, Provincial of the English-speaking West Africa Province AFW, accompanied by Father Christoph Nizniak, Provincial Economer, visited the Salesian Technical School of Tatele, which started 3 new courses related to construction, catering, electricity. The courses last 3 months. A first group has already graduated and a second is attending classes while the classrooms are still under construction. The hands-on part of the catering courses take place in the kitchen of the Salesian community. The students of the Vox Day 2020 course of the Don Bosco Vintners School in Rodeo del Medio Mendoza, belonging to the North Argentina Salesian Province ARN, created the I Bechi Youth Group. Established as a space for Caritas Juvenile, the group leverages the desire to help benefactors and generate a paradigm shift on behalf of young people. It is presented as an initiative open to all who feel united by a new hope. The group carried out its first solidarity actions by bringing clothes to the children's canteen, Reitos de Esperanza, and preparing pancakes to share with them. Later, the young people thought of continuing to take initiatives of this kind to help the entire community. Thus was born the I Bechi Youth. One of the recent activities consisted in the harvest of spinach from the farm the pupils of the Rodeo del Medio house used for practice and the subsequent delivery to the streets of the area's poor neighborhoods. Well, viewers, that is all we have for you today. Until we meet again, thank you for watching.
Listen to Salesian News podcast on www.anchor.fm/boscom. Get weekly summaries of Salesian news from Don Bosco's family in Asia Oceania, comprising of priests, brothers, sisters, cooperators and alumni. I am your host, RJ Brian of Radio Salesian 90.8 FM from Salesian College, Sonada, Shillong. Be sure to hear me on Salesian News podcast on www.anchor.fm/boscom. Listen anytime from anywhere.